Every piece of duplicated knowledge in your codebase is a future bug waiting to happen, and you won't know how far the damage spreads. If you've been coding for a while, you've probably heard of DRW, don't repeat yourself. But DRW is far more than a rule about copy-paste. It's a principle about knowledge. Every piece of knowledge in your system must have a single, unambiguous, authoritative representation. That's a good tip, and here's the subtlety that trips people up. DRI is about knowledge, not about code text. DRI applies to far more than code. Business rules, data schemas, test data, and documentation are all knowledge that can be silently duplicated. Two identical-looking loops may encode completely different knowledge, different business rules that just happen to look alike. And two very different-looking modules may secretly encode the same business rule twice, in different shapes and different files. Picture a simple business rule, a loan interest rate, checked in three separate places: a UI validation, an API endpoint check, and a database constraint. Three locations, three truths. When the business changes that rate, someone has to remember to update all three. Miss one and your system silently contradicts itself. The UI shows one rate, the API enforces another, and the database stores a third. The DRY solution is to pull that rule into a single validation policy module. The UI, the API, and the database all consume the same authoritative source. Think of a single switch controlling all the lights in a room. Flip it once and every light responds together. That's what a single source of truth gives you. Now change the rate once and every layer stays in sync automatically. That's the power of a single source of truth. Let's see this in code. Here's a function that prices a loan. It multiplies the amount by a hard-coded rate of 5% and the number of years. And here's a separate display function that returns the string 5%. Same knowledge, the 5% rate encoded in two completely different ways. If marketing changes the rate to 4.5%, a developer updates the loan function but forgets the display string. The app now lies to its users. The fix is elegant. Extract a single constant, annual rate, and let both functions reference it. One change, one place, zero contradictions. And it's not just constants. Database schemas, API contracts, and configuration files can all suffer from the same duplication problem. Now, duplication doesn't always come from laziness. It arrives in four distinct forms, each needing a different response. First, imposed duplication. Standards, protocols, or multiple platforms force you to represent the same thing in different shapes. Fight it with code generation and abstraction layers. Second, inadvertent duplication. You simply didn't realize two pieces of code overlap. The cure is better discovery, searchable codebases, documentation, and awareness tools. Third, impatient duplication. The classic copy-paste shortcut to meet a deadline. Discipline, refactoring habits, and code reviews keep this one in check. Fourth, inter-developer duplication. Two teams independently build the same component without knowing about each other. The answer is shared communication and well-organized reusable libraries. The cost isn't just extra maintenance, it's the bugs that appear when one copy gets updated and another doesn't. Bugs you can't find because you forget the other copy exists. And that brings us to the next tip: make it easy to reuse. If reuse is hard, people will rewrite every time. Accessible, well-documented libraries with clear APIs are your frontline defense against duplication. Make the right way the easy way. But here's a word of caution. Don't take DRY to the extreme. Over-abstracting unrelated code creates tight coupling that's worse than the duplication it replaces. DRY is about shared knowledge, not coincidental similarity. If two pieces of code look alike but serve different purposes, forcing them together causes more harm than good. So here's what you can do today. Find one business rule that's encoded in multiple layers of your system and collapse it into a single source of truth. Prefer generating your documentation, type definitions, and configuration from one schema rather than maintaining them by hand. And make the preferred shared library the path of least resistance, so no one on your team is tempted to reinvent what already exists. 3 steps: collapse one duplicated rule, generate from a single schema, and make reuse effortless. Small changes today, big dividends tomorrow. Remember, duplicated knowledge is a future bug with unknown fanout. Keep it doi. One truth, one place, one change, and your future self and your team will thank you. I'll see you in the next one, and remember to comment, like, and subscribe.